So about the biotic factors, you may have an idea. Biotic means related with the biological environment. So in a pond, different types of situations are there. For example, presence of light. That is a factor which is influencing the growth of the fish. Light is a abiotic factor. Similarly, pressure in the water, salinity in the water. All these are abiotic factors. But there are a lot of other things like presence of algae, presence of other kinds of fish, presence of a frog, or presence of predatory birds. All these are influencing the growth of fish. So these kind of factors which are playing an important role in the growth and rearing of freshwater or other type of fish in a aquacultural pond are coming under the biotic factors. So biotic factors in aquaculture refer to all the living organisms in the aquatic ecosystem and their interaction. For example, in an aquatic environment, different type of organisms are there. How these organisms are interacting with one another and how these organisms are influencing the growth and development of other organisms are all coming under the biotic factors. These factors are dynamic and play crucial or important roles in overall health, productivity and sustainability of. For example, if in aquacultural pond, lot of frogs are there. They will be feeding on the small fish young ones, so that the overall productivity of the pond may be reduced. Sometimes the presence of lot of cranes, these cranes can feed on the fish. That will be reducing the presence of, that will be reducing the production of the aquacultural pond. So this way, lot of factors can influence the growth as well as the productivity of an aquacultural pond. We will be first examining one by one. First and the most important species situation is cultured species. These are the primary organisms being farmed and are central to the aquacultural operation. In an aquacultural operation, either we may be growing fish, sometimes we may be rearing crustaceans like prawns, sometimes molluscs may be like oyster, etc. Then aquatic plants can be grown. So these are the different type of organisms which we are growing in an aquacultural pond. Based on their nature and based on their survival capability, they have different effect on other species and also on the productivity of the pond. Fish, commonly the cultured species, the most common type of fish are the tilapia, catfish, salmon and carp. These are the most common type of fish. Each species has a specific requirement for growth, temperature, feed and space. So for example, in the use of tilapia, the situation is more easier. But if you are rearing other type of fish like salmon here, we have to maintain appropriate kind of temperature and other things. So growing salmon here may not be possible. But in another country it may be more easy. So for every fish, it has its own special requirements. Then another factor is crustacean. The most common type of crustaceans are shrimp, prawns, etc. Crabs are also coming under the crustacean. They also require special kind of situation, like crabs need a lot of shelter, hiding spaces are required, and salinity requirement is there for these crabs. Then another type of organism that we are growing is molluscs. Coming to the molluscs, oysters are there, mussels are there, clams are there. And they are filter feeding organism and they are mainly feeding on phytoplankton. So if in an aquacultural pond, sufficient amount of phytoplanktons are not there, their growth may be affected. So for growing the molluscs, lot of phytoplanktons are required. So water should be rich in phytoplankton. Then, for example, in several countries of the world, like Japan, they are also growing these aquatic plants. For example, seagrass, etc., seaweed, etc. They will be preparing a lot of soup and other type of dishes from these aquatic plants. So seaweed, water hyacinth are cultivated for food, sometimes for biofuel, and also for water purification. So these are also another kind of cultured species. So based on the type of cultured species, the requirements are varying. That's what discussing. The health and growth of the species are influenced by interaction with other living organisms and also the environmental condition. So one factor which is influencing the pond ecosystem is the type of cultural species that we are growing. Then second source, that is a natural food sources. For example, if we are rearing fish here, or we are rearing prawns, or we are rearing oyster. So natural food is an integral biotic component in aquaculture, especially in extensive and semi-extensive. Last class I told you what is an extensive food. That is, if you are simply rearing fish in an open farm, like a river area or a lake area, that is an open farming or an extensive farming. There, if there is sufficient quantity or sufficient availability of natural planktons are there, fish will be able to grow. So, in the absence of sufficient natural food like phytoplankton or zooplankton, growth of the food fish may be affected. So, the availability of natural food sources is an important factor affecting the production of aquacultural pond. So coming to the phytoplankton, microscopic plants and algae, they are the most important type of the phytoplankton. Most of the fish are feeding on this phytoplankton. They produce oxygen through photosynthesis and serve as a primary food source for filter feeders like molluscans and zooplankton. So that is one important thing, because a lot of phytoplankton in the river or in the lake means they will be able to produce a lot of oxygen. So oxygen is very much needed for the survival of this species. Similarly, zooplankton. Zooplanktons are small organisms which are feeding on phytoplankton. So their presence also depends on the availability of phytoplankton. In the absence of phytoplankton or plant plankton, this animal plankton cannot survive. Then periphyton and detritus. Periphyton is a complex community of algae, microbes and detritus attached to the various like rock surface of the water or other kind of wood surface of the water. These provide nutrients for many aquatic species. So, so there is another category. Periphyton is it includes a lot of algae, microorganisms, and other kind of detritus. Detritus means something which is attached at the bottom of the pond. These are all coming under the third category known as periphyton and detritus. So second factor which is influencing the growth of a fish or growth of a cultured species is availability of food sources. A pond which is rich in lot of phytoplankton naturally will be able to sustain more amount of fish. More phytoplankton means more zooplankton. More zooplankton means more amount of more availability of food for the fish and other type of organisms. Third is the microbial community. Microbial means related with the microorganism. Microbes play a vital role in nutrient cycling, water quality maintenance, and disease management. These are the three important types of important roles microorganisms are playing. One is nutrient recycling, for maintenance of water quality, and also for disease management. Here you can see that some of the bacteria are beneficial bacteria, useful bacteria. For example, nitrosomonas and nitrobacter are nitrifying bacteria essential for breakdown of ammonia, because when fish is growing in a aquacultural pond, they will be releasing a lot of waste product, their excretory products, and they will be rich in ammonia. That ammonia has to be converted into nitrate. So for that, these kind of bacteria are playing an important role. So that is why many microorganisms like nitrosomonas and nitrobacter are important in converting ammonia into nitrate by and helping in the nutrient or nitrogen cycle. Similarly, denitrifying bacteria, they will be converting nitrate into nitrogen gas. That's another kind of bacteria, reducing the nutrient buildup in the system. So here also you can see that too much amount of nitrate will be leading to overgrowth of phytoplankton. That also will be a problem for that. So what happens is that normally there is a certain kind of bacteria known as a denitrifying bacteria. They will be able to convert this nitrate which is produced by conversion of ammonia will be converted, this nitrate will be converted into nitrogen gas so that there won't be any excess buildup of nitrate in the water. So that is regarding the beneficial bacteria. Then comes the probiotics. These are beneficial microorganisms help to introduce into your pond. The purpose is they help to maintain gut health and water quality in the aquacultural system. So one important feature of that, they will be able to, this probiotics are important in maintaining the quality of water, and these kind of probiotics are also good for digestion as well as absorption. Then another category is the presence of fungi. Fungi are decomposers. Without fungi, no nutrient recycling. For example, when a plant or animal is dying, the entire material present in that plant or animal will be slowly decomposed and become part of the soil. And this process is actually done by fungi. So if there are no fungi in our world, all the dead bodies will be remaining like that. There won't be any decomposition. So fungi are the organisms which are converting the organic matter and helping in the nutrient recycling. And similarly, just like beneficial bacteria, we also have harmful bacteria. Harmful bacteria also can be called as a pathogenic bacteria like virus, fungi, etc. They can cause diseases like white spot syndrome in the case of shrimp or other kind of bacterial infections in many fishes. So both the presence of bacteria, whether they are harmful bacteria or a pathogenic bacteria, they can play an important role in influencing the total production of fish or other kind of cultured species in an aquacultural pond. The fourth organism are pathogens and parasites. Pathogens means are disease-causing microorganisms, and parasites are that live of a host. So here you can see that many kind of bacteria like Aeromonas, Vibrio, Edwardsiella, this can cause bacterial infection in fish and other kind of crustaceans like prawns, etc. Similarly, viral disease like hematopoietic necrosis virus (IHNV), infectious hematopoietic necrosis virus, white spot syndrome virus, they can also cause a lot of damage to the aquaculture. So both bacterial disease as well as viral disease can harm the aquacultural pond. Similarly, presence of parasite, many kinds of worms, protozoans, and also ectoparasite, lice, and they can also weaken or kill the health of the or destroy the health of the aquacultural species. So here you can see that some of the species pathogens are either bacteria or other are virus, and there are also parasites which can destroy many of the individuals in a aquacultural pond. Then coming to fifth one, they are predators as well as pests. Coming to the predators and pests, they have an important impact on the cultured species. Here we can say egret. For example, last year we were rearing a lot of fish here, and after some time we observed that most of the fish has been captured by these birds like egret. So after that we tightly locked all the net properly, then only we were able to rear fish properly. So if you are not keeping a good watch on the many birds like herons, egrets, cormorants, they'll be preying on this fish. For them it is easy to identify fish very easily, and they are very sharp also in capturing the fish. So if you are not taking enough precautions, These birds like egrets, herons and cormorants will be feeding on our fish, and that will be affecting our profitability. And similarly, predatory fish. Larger fish species may consume juvenile stock if they gain access to aquaculture facility. So that is another problem. In most of the aquaculture pond, we can observe there are big size fishes are there, moderate size fishes are there, very small fishes are there. Sometimes some of the bigger fishes may feed on the younger one, especially younger one of another species. So this kind of factors should be taken into consideration, and most of the time farmers will be removing the bigger fish into another tank. Then invasive species, organisms like invasive fish or crustacean may compete for resources or introduce disease. When a foreign fish is introduced into our pond, that foreign fish may bring in some foreign bacteria, disease-causing bacteria, that can have harmful effect on the survival of our fish species. So these are the role of predators as well as pests. Then we have competitors. Coming to the competitors, these are unwanted organisms that they share the same habit and compete for food, oxygen and space, and their presence can negatively impact the aquacultural productivity. For example, weeds and algae. Excessive growth of aquatic weeds or algae can block sunlight, so that fish may not be able to get enough sunlight, and they will be also reducing the oxygen level, so that also affects the survival of the fish, and they can also interfere with the fish feeding. So this is the effect of too much amount of feed, weeds or algae. Similarly, invasive filter feeders like zebrafish, the organisms like zebrafish, they can compete with cultured species for the food resources. So that is also a problem. Zebrafishes are very fast growing fish. So they don't need special conditions. They can easily multiply and grow, and most of them will be feeding on other food resources that we are giving. Then seventh one is the effect of symbiotic and mutual relationship. Coming to the symbiotic and mutual relationship, some organisms benefit aquaculture species through symbiotic or mutual relationship. The cleaner organisms like wrasses are introduced into marine aquaculture system to remove ectoparasite from farmed fish. Wrasses, I will show you a picture of wrasses because they are a type of fish. The purpose of this see here you can see that this kind of fish can remove any ectoparasite which are present on the body of other fish. So that is the advantage of these wrasses. And similarly, biofloc system. In an intensive aquaculture, microbial bioflocs are cultivated to improve water quality and provide additional food source for fish. So that is also another type of treatment. Biofloc is a kind of bacteria. And this bacteria will be introduced into the aquacultural pond, and see this using this kind of tank. See biofloc fish farming. So they are actually bacteria. They will be improving the food resources in the water, so that the fish will be growing more faster. So that is the advantage of using biofloc system. Then coming to the symbiotic and mutual. Symbiotic and mutual mean they are mutually helpful. So that is the meaning of the so some organisms are helping each other, like a cleaner, grasses, etc. And similarly, some kind of bacteria can also improve the water quality. Then second, eighth one is aquatic vegetation. The aquatic plants, including submerged, floating, and emergent vegetation, they can provide shelter, oxygen, food, or for cultural species. So the presence of this kind of aquatic vegetation, they will be improving the quality by absorbing the excess nutrients. They will be providing shade and shelter for the fish. But the problem with aquatic vegetation is that their overgrowth can lead to depletion or reduction in the oxygen level, and also cause difficulty for the movement of the fish. So there is the presence of aquatic plants or aquatic vegetation can have good effects as well as bad effects. Coming to the good effects or benefits, they can improve they can provide shade and shelter, and similarly they can also absorb some of the extra nutrients or excess nutrients. Overgrowth of these aquatic plants can destroy the reduce the oxygen level and also prevent water fish movement. Then finally, to the last, it is human intervention. Farmers play a biotic role by introducing feed, managing the stock density, preventing disease. Human activities directly influence interaction among biotic farmer. So how much amount of food that we are giving, and how much frequently we are cleaning the water. All these can play an important role in determining the total productivity or total production in an aquacultural pond. Then interaction among biotic factors. Here you can see that there is a balance between biotic interaction in aquaculture system that will be determined. Productivity refers to how much quantity of fish. For example, we are producing 1000 kilogram or 2000 kilogram. So that is the meaning of the productivity. And sustainability. The pond will be able to produce more fish. So the prey-predator dynamics. Overpopulation of prey species like zooplankton that may lead to oxygen depletion or oxygen reduction, and introducing appropriate predators can maintain it. So when there are too much amount of zooplankton, what we can do is that we can introduce zooplankton feeding fish, so that the zooplankton level will be kept under control. So that is the role of prey-predator interaction or prey-predator dynamics. And similarly, competition is there. Minimizing competition between species ensure more resources are available. If two species are introduced in a pond and both are fighting with each other, then what happens is that overall productivity, the quantity of fish that the pond may be producing may be less. So when we are introducing fish into a pond, we should ensure that these fish species do not compete with each other or harm each other. Then pathogen control. The presence of quarantine and probiotics and can prevent the spread of disease. So probiotics are actually useful bacteria. Their useful bacteria can prevent the spread of other harmful bacteria in the water. So this is an idea regarding what are the different type of factors which are playing an important role in maintaining the biological environment or biotic factors of a aquacultural pond.